All right. All right. It's your boy KC Boxing Network, baby. Ha ha. We are in this thing. Yes, we are. And we doing it like we always do it every damn day. Ha ha. All right. Yes, we are. Okay. What's going on? Main event Mark. First one was in here, baby. Hey, all right. Okay, I see Trill just closed. But it's okay. All right. Yes, sir. Everybody be coming on over in a minute. Okay. And I send Knockout a link so he can come on and jump on with me today. All right. Here he come now. All right. Let me let my brother in here. All right. Here we go. There he go. Knockout.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, baby? How you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. Excited to be here, man, and cook with you for your show, man. Thanks for having me on. Can you hear me good? Is my audio good? My camera good? Everything good on
Yeah,
your side?
everything good, man. Everything good. All right. Yeah, you
For
looking
sure,
good.
for sure. Salute to the chat too. Salute to the chat too, man.
All right. Okay. Now, let me see. I mean, we got it up in here. We got 16. Okay, there's enough for roll call. Roll call brought to you by Shottown Finance and Underground Asylum. We got main event Mark in here. We got A-Rod 83 boxing. What's going on, A-Rod? Good conversation last night. Crush the legend. All right. DB Demetrius Bright is up in here. James Good Breath is up in here. ABN, my brother. Yes, sir. Cool Breeze is up in here. Underground Asylum. What's going on, brother? Yes, sir. Vance Chisholm is up in here. Kenny Peeps up in here. 24/7 King Mentality is up in here. All right, who else we got up here? Alvin Davis is up in here. And none other than Brandon House is up in here. All right. And we got ABN saying Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Bless up, fam. Good to have you on the panel. All right. Okay. And we got Mark Casey up in here. He said, "What it do, KQ?" All right. We'll wait for a few more for a few more people come in. We got about 20 right now. So we'll wait for a few more people come in. And right now, we got Knockout Boxing 86 TV. And brother, tell them how they can follow you.
Y'all can follow me right here on TV. I mean on YouTube. You just type in that name right there that you see under my name, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. We drop daily content. We only talk boxing, bro. So we don't talk nothing else but boxing. If you love boxing, come check the channel out right here on YouTube. And we got a weekly show that we doing now that we do every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So if y'all not doing nothing tonight, man, I'm gonna have a great panel. We got Money Brown TV and everything boxing and sports coming to kick it with us and talk boxing later on tonight. So that's how you can follow me, man, right here on YouTube. And we cooking every single day. We dropping content. So y'all come check me out and see what we got going on over there on the channel, bro.
Man, that's good. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear, man. Grind, and that's what I'm talking about. Get that grind in. What's going on, sweetie? All right. Now, you know what? Where we at? Okay. Goddamn, what is that on here? Okay, yeah, this string yard. So, okay, okay, we can get started. All right. First of all, I need to say about the deal with Canelo and PBC. That deal is not complete. All right. Remember, we got to stop jumping the gun. All right. It's out there. Yes. It's a possibility. Yes. It's a great possibility. But until someone in the position of like PBC or Canelo or his representatives make the official announcement, don't assume nothing. Now, did you hear about it? Knockout. You heard about it, right?
Yes, sir. I heard about it. Well,
Okay.
that's actually one of the hottest topics right now. So I mean, it's not done. Like you said, it's promising. You know, it's something that hopefully we get to see because while there are other great, opponents for Canelo, shoot, I want to see undisputed, and Caleb Plant is the opponent that I want most. So hopefully the PBC and Canelo can work that out and come to an agreement. But yeah, man, it'd be great for boxing. We need, especially with the Deontay Wilder fiasco this month. We need something big in September. We just got Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk in September, but
Right.
we need a fight like Canelo and Plant for September. So hopefully they can work it out and get it figured out, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That would be definitely a good fight because I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna call it because Canelo don't want nothing more than that belt. That's what he wants. He wants that unification. And Kellen Plant knows what position he in. Al Heyman know what position he in. So they plan it all the way to the T. So I mean, if they can get that one fight deal or two fight deal, it doesn't matter really. But it's rumored that it will be the highest payday that Canelo ever had. And you know what? I kind of believe that because Al Heyman, he pays his fighters, no doubt about it. He paid them what they are worth. So I have to I had to give it out to him. So, but now, I got to touch on this knockout, man, because Eddie Hearn, and well, let me put it this way, Eddie Hearn is pretty much mad. He pretty much mad at Canelo Alvarez because of this deal. Eddie Hearn is pretty much saying that Canelo and said Fury rumors was suspicious, and that Canelo Alvarez is listening to Oscar De La Hoya as Oscar De La Hoya is stirring up shit. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I mean, is that because he pissed off because Canelo is his own guy now? And he listening to Al Heyman. He's going for the bag. I mean, or they can't match it. Or what is it?
I don't know what it is, but what I will say, it's one of those situations where Eddie Hearn, it's like Canelo's a free agent, but he really ain't free. Like Eddie Hearn, like, oh yeah, he can go on any network, he can do this, he can do that. But let's
Right.
all keep it real. Eddie Hearn want that bag, right? He want
Yes.
the fight. He want the fight to be on the zone. So of course he's
Uh,
pissed off at Canelo. So what I would say, if you Devin Haney, take heed of that, pay attention to that, because by all accounts, you just made a similar move to Canelo, which is making yourself a network free agent. And if Eddie Hearn is gonna act like that and be mad at Canelo for doing what's in his best interest, then you gotta kind of take heed of that, because he could do the same thing to you. But that's all it is. He wants to fight on the zone. He doesn't want Canelo to go over to the Fox PBC, because if it is true and he's getting his biggest bag that he will have made in his career, at the end of the day, Canelo seemed like he about that money and he want the big fights. And let's just keep it real. Like Eddie Hearn see the writing on the wall. The biggest fights for Canelo at 168 moving forward, most of those fighters are PBC fighters.
damn
That's
right.
where the fights are to be made. Unless he going up to 175 to see Bivol or see Better BF, the big fights for him, the big money fights, they at PBC. And then don't let him get a taste of this back end pay-per-view money. Don't let him go to PBC and the pay-per-view do well. Shit, Eddie Hearn gonna have a hard time getting him back on the zone at all.
Yep. Yep. You ain't lying. Because that's one thing about Al. Everybody love Al because Al pays. And he pays well. ABN. And that Chad. My man. He said, good afternoon, Chat family, and my brothers, KQKC and Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Good to be alive and kicking. That you damn right. Yes, sir. I went to the doctor earlier today, man, and I'll explain to y'all a little later. But yeah, you're right. Now, this is the part I want to talk about by Oscar real fast. Now, Oscar, he's kind of stirring up some shit. All right. He's trying to stir up some shit between Canelo and Eddie Hearn. Now, he's saying that Eddie Hearn, which he did say, that Canelo is a drug sheet. He said that back in 2018. And I wrote it down here, 2018, where Eddie Hearn talked about Canelo substance and positive tests of PEDs. He ran them down. Yes, he did. But this is a different day, baby. Money talks and bullshit walk. And now Oscar can't stand it that he's over there and he's doing good. Saying some people like Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, they want you to drown when you leave. That's what Bob Arum was counting on with Floyd. That's what he was counting on with Mikey, Kodo, Oscar. When you leave him, you're gonna drown. That's what it is. Now, do you think that what's wrong with Bud? You think Bud think he can't make it on his own?
I don't know. I definitely question his confidence to be a high seller, to be somebody that can go out there and be independent, because he had an opportunity to do it in 2018, and it looks like he has an opportunity to do it again here in October. And so I
Right,
definitely question that, because at the end of the day, like, people can say what they want to say, right? Like, this
right,
OG, like, but it's what you do. It's about the moves that you make and the actions that you take. And if you see that, okay, I'm at 147 now. All of the big
right.
names at 147, they fight over here for the PBC. Just the business of boxing and logic and common sense would tell you it's going to be hard to make these cross promotional fights. But I believe in myself enough. I believe that I can sell, and I believe that I am a star, and I believe I can beat these guys. So here's what I'm gonna do. I don't really like the PBC like that, because he said he don't like the PBC. Okay, cool. But I am Bud Crawford. I am a pound for pound fighter. I'm big enough to be on my own. I'm big enough to pull a Canelo Alvarez and go on a fight by fight basis. If my
Right.
manager calls you, you gonna answer the phone. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go independent. I'm gonna be a free agent, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna try to make these fights. Someone that is confident will do what Floyd Mayweather did. Someone that has confidence to take it to another sport, they'll do what LeBron James did, and they'll go to any team like, yo, look, I'm the championship contender. Wherever I go, we gonna compete. You know what I mean?
There
And
you
so
go.
yeah, I mean, if you're not questioning whether or not, now I'm not saying he's not confident, but if you aren't at least questioning whether or not Terrence Bud Crawford is confident in his abilities and confident in what he can do at 147, if you don't at least have that question in your head, then I would question whether or not, you're looking at it objectively, because it definitely seems like he has the opportunity to go get these big fights. He has the opportunity to go try to be great, but is he going to do it? That's what I'm interested to see as we get closer to the end of his contract, because it's not hating to say that guys like Jose Zepeda, they just not doing it for me, homie. They not doing it for any true boxing fan. We know the outcome of that fight. People are tired of seeing Terrence Crawford fighting fights where the other fighter has no shot against him. And until that changes, he's not going to get the love and the respect that he's seeking.
Yeah, very well put, man. Because I was saying the same thing. Because if we resign, that's it. And I think he can do better on his own. Now, you don't have to go, like you said, you don't have to go to PBC if you don't care for him. And I think he can do better on his own, but he got to prove himself a little bit better before he make that move and step out on faith on his career. Because it's not easy, but you got to sell yourself, and he hasn't been doing that. Nor has Bob been doing that. So you pretty much caught up in yourself. Ricky E245 was saying Bud don't got no personality, so it's going to be tough for him to sell himself. You know, and that might be true. But if he wanted bad enough, he can get out there and sell it. And sell himself. I mean, I know that when he unified at 140, that was 140. Now you at 147. Now, Earl came out and said he do want to fight Terrence Crawford. His people can talk to his people and maybe come up with a deal. Now, if he put them selfish ways of that diva shit away, then he can pretty much talk and get something done. That's what I'm saying. And if he keep on acting the way he acting, man, that ain't gonna help none. But if you're gonna talk shit and say I want to move up to 154, that they don't have no faith in you. And Bob is already destroying your career. He has one fight, right? He got one fight left. He owes Bob one fight. That's it. His contract is over. So now, will Bob try to prolong that one fight? That's the thing about it. Or will he hold that contract over his head and say, okay, well, you got to sign this first before we get that last fight and get it over with? Because Bob was a sneaky motherfucker. He'd do some shit like that. He would.
All facts. I mean, he won't, and Bob Arum's not above that. Like, we see what he's doing with other fighters and COVID and all that. And I'm not gonna touch on it too much because I know we might touch on it later. But he has a track record of doing shit like this. So if you Terrence Crawford, man, get that fight out the way and do what you do. And on and I know you got to get to the super chat, but on Ricky's comment
Hold
about
on.
Bud
Take
having
your time.
yeah, about Ricky's comment about Bud having no personality, I agree with that, but I would say with his fighting style, if he were fighting better competition, that shit wouldn't matter, bro. He would sell. See, it's the no personality, and
Mhm.
you fighting people that you don't that we don't want to see you fight. So if you don't have no personality and you don't want to be this dude that's out here, acting how Floyd Mayweather used to act or talking shit like that, that's cool. You ain't got to do that. But what you can do if you can fight fights that don't have to sell. For instance, I know we all probably saw the Earl Spence and Manny Pacquiao press conference. That shit wasn't lit. They wasn't going back and forth talking shit to each other. But you know
Nope.
what? They don't have to, because a fight like that sells itself. You put Terrence Bud Crawford in those types of fights, if he puts himself in that type of position, all that personality shit goes out the window, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because they was rumblings about that press conference. Wow, that was boring. They was in suits, and it was so boring, man. Nobody went talking shit. Well, like I was trying to explain a couple live streams ago, that Earl is a chill out type dude. He don't have that type of attitude. He don't have that energy like that, unless somebody say some shit to him. And Manny, he wouldn't understand if they were joking or not with him, really. So they pretty much was, adult. But we are talking about a unified champion at 147, and we are talking about a icon, future Hall of Famer at 147. That sells. That sells. By itself, that sells. We talk about old lion versus young lion. How
All
about
facts. I
that?
tell you, like Bud wouldn't have to say shit. He ain't got to show no personality. He ain't got to do press conference if he was fighting somebody like Keith Thurman or Sean Porter. He wouldn't have to say shit. The fight would sell, bro, just
Yep.
off of who they fighting.
Yep, exactly. Mr. Zulu Lion, my man, coming through heavy all this week. Shit. Wow. And that's Ted. All right. My man, Zulu Lion says, salute OG. Texas in the building. All right. Shout out to the chat family. Yes, sir. Zulu Lion, Texas, man. Texas, man.
Yes, sir. Zulu, Texas, stand up. Dallas, Texas, in here too, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
Represent
man.
Texas all day.
Okay. You in Dallas? Oh,
Yes,
you in
sir.
Dallas?
Born and
Okay.
born,
Oh,
born, born and raised, and still live here. Yes, sir.
wow, man! I got a cousin in Texas. Man, I know a little bit about Texas by visiting her a couple of times. South Dallas, and all up in there. Those were the brothers at. I know where they hang out at, South Dallas. But hey, man, Texas is doing their thing, man. Texas doing their thing. Now I'm gonna touch on now we haven't went over nothing or nothing like that. I'm just knock I got that boxing knowledge, and I know he can pretty much pick up on what we're talking about here. But what do you think about the fight Saturday night? Cause I'm okay with the draw. Most people in old media that I read today, they had an article in Boxing 24. Cause I always look at them because I'm
Mhm.
subscribed to them, and they're saying that most of the country think Charlo lost. Now you got a small bit of people saying that he pretty much the draw was okay. Then Eddie Hearn wants to speak to the judge that gave him 117 and 111, want to ask him. Now, this is what fucked me up, right? He wanted to talk to the judge and ask him, what made you come up with that? And what was you looking at? Well, first of all, that's why judges don't speak to promoters. That's why you don't interview judges. Because for the simple fact that, that's their personal score. That's their personal thing. That's why you don't interview with no judges. It ain't your damn business how he scored it. He scored the way he scored it. And he been doing this for 30 years now. 30 years. This is a 30-year veteran, a judge. So
Mhm.
how can Eddie Hearn say, well, we should be allowed to ask him why? No, you should not. That's how shit gets started, payoffs and all that. And that's how Bob Aaron got caught bribing a governing body official. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, what you think about it? I mean, are you okay
Man,
with it,
look.
bro?
Yeah, so I scored the fight 7-5 for Castano. However, there are a bunch of swing rounds in there. I think round 3 was a swing round because Charlo was controlling the round, but Castano caught him and visibly hurt him at the end of that round. If not for the
Uh-huh.
ropes, I believe Charlo would have failed. So round 3, you got a swing round. I believe round 5 was a swing round, and I think you could have scored round 9. Either way. So 7-5, one way or the other. I mean, it's cool. It's a draw running back. Like I felt like Charlo landed the harder, more significant shots, and he
Right.
visibly hurt Castano a lot. And I felt like Castano applied the more pressure and was a busier fighter. And so I scored it for Castano. But if you tell me that you had it 7-5 for Charlo, I'm not arguing with you. I think it was a hell of a fight, and it's what boxing needs, and they need to run it back. I feel like for Undisputed, it needs to be like Charlo said on his post, which I give him credit for because I criticize him for the racism comments. I criticize him for talking about he got shooters and shit like that at a boxing interview. But what I give him credit for is he said it best in his little Instagram post that he had yesterday that the fight was very close. He felt like he won, but at the same time, Castano is a great fighter. And when we run it back, I'm gonna beat him. So he wants to fight. Castano has already said he wants to fight. Anybody talking about robbery, they need to sit down somewhere. Because if you tell me you scored it for Charlo and it's 7-5, all right, cool. I'm cool with that. Like I'm not gonna argue with that because it's some rounds that could have been seen either way, depending upon how you were scoring the fight and what you thought the flow of the fight was. As far as Eddie Hearn, he got an extremely bad habit of always putting himself in somebody else's business, bro. Like
Yep.
I can't, I don't like that. I don't like that shit about him. And then furthermore, like he want to see the 117, 111 scorecard. I would ask him and Canelo and Triple G the first fight, there was a judge that scored that shit 120 to 108 for
Yep.
Canelo. You
Yep.
wasn't asking to talk to that judge.
Yep.
Why wasn't you asking to talk to that judge? You telling me Canelo won every single round in that first fight? He won every round. You wasn't mad about that. And that was on your platform, if memory serves me correctly. That's some shit that's actually your business, bro.
Right.
That's some shit that you actually like had money invested into. Last I checked, they fought on PBC. It was a Showtime card. That ain't your money. Ain't neither one of them your fighters. He just inserting himself in shit that ain't got nothing to do with him. And those are the worst types of people. On top of being a liar. Like, bro, it's not your business, bro. It's not your business to speak on. He's speaking on Fury and Wilder. He always just inserting himself into a conversation for attention. And he can miss me with that shit because he's hypocritical because it's been plenty of shaky ass decisions over there on the zone and bad judges scores. And he ain't asked to speak to one of them judges, not one of them. Right. So I would ask why, Eddie? Why is this one such a big deal to you? Now, the 117, 111 scorecard for Charlo, I think it's ridiculous. No way did Charlo win 9 rounds because that's what that score is. 117 to 111 means that judge saw it 9 rounds to 3 for Charlo. You know what I mean?
Said that was too far.
Yeah, and Charlo said so. Charlo don't even agree with it. But to be like, yo, I want to go talk to the judge when it's so much corruption. We can point to a bad scorecard damn near every single week in boxing, bro. That's just the nature of boxing. That's just what it is. But Eddie Hearn need to sit down somewhere and just be quiet because when it's his fighter, when he was over there on Canelo's Johnson, and he was thinking Canelo was right all the time and always on his side, he didn't say nothing when that scorecard came out and Triple G hadn't won a round in that first fight. I didn't hear him saying all of this shit. So he can miss me with that, man. I'm not buying that at all. But overall, the fight for Mel and Castano, it was great. Castano is better than a lot of people gave him credit for, me included. I thought Mel would get him out of there in the 10th round, and he almost proved me right. I think he could have stopped him if he stepped on the gas, but Castano can fight, and he wants to fight. So by all accounts, he about to go have his honeymoon. You go have your honeymoon, Mel. You go do what you gonna do. They need to run it back by the end of the year. It's no reason we can't get Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano 2 by November or December. That's what needs to happen, in my opinion.
You damn right. Yep. You damn right. Cause see, LA Bird, she, her score. He didn't have a problem with that. And like I say, he inserted himself in the Wilder Fury thing, and I know why he's doing that because he wanted to put on the AJ and Fury fight. I get that. Now, why he inserted himself into this is because of Charlo and Canelo. They want Charlo and Canelo to fight. But of course, Canelo don't want to fight Charlo. But now he saw the fight with Montiel, and I guess he looked at that and say, okay, I want Charlo now, right? Because they think he's vulnerable. But keep in mind, style makes fights. And Brian Castano with Jamel, his style is not going to play well with, let's say, another fighter, in any fighter, because his style is come forward. Now, I don't think he can fight on the back foot, and that was proven. When he got on the back foot, he pretty much kind of like trying to get the hell out of there, but side holding his ground. Now the question is, what can he do to make, what kind of adjustments he can make when they run it back? I'm talking about Jamel.
To me, in my opinion, I think number one, Derek James, if anything positive came from what happened in the fight Saturday for Jamel Charlo's side, it's that Derek James is not overrated as a trainer. He's really that good. Like, he really knows what he's looking at. He knows how to give instructions, and he knows how to tell his fighter what to do. So what Jamel can do, in my opinion, number one, he's gonna need to pivot more. He gotta keep his ass off the ropes. That's first and foremost. Stop backing up into a corner, pivot around, and stay off the ropes. That's the first thing he can do, in my opinion. The second thing, I need to see him use that stabbing jab to the body more that he used against Rosario. Don't just jab up top. He need to be sticking to the body, because that's going to stop Castano in his tracks. So keep that jab working at the high level, keep it working at the low level, up and down the whole time, while pivoting around and keeping your back off of the ropes. And then, in my opinion, when he hurt that uppercut, he throws a good uppercut. I mean, just go ask Harrison how good his uppercut is. I think he can use that much more. I felt like Castano, being a shorter man, when he was coming in with his head down trying to bulldoze forward, I felt like he was open for an uppercut on a few times. And Mel Charlo, maybe he felt Castano's power or some shit, and he was like, oh shit, I don't want to throw with him in the middle of exchanges. And so maybe that's what made him gunshot. So the obvious adjustments: stay off the ropes, listen to Derek James more, use that jab more, and don't just use the jab up top, because I felt like he was really head hunting a lot in that fight. Now, he doesn't go to the body a lot like that anyway, but at the very least, he needs to jab to the body more, because that's what's going. If you jab Castano in the head, it'll knock his head back, but his feet will keep moving forward. If he's able to use that jab to the body, it stops his feet. Right there, he'll stop on it. It stops you in your tracks, and then you can do more. You can still throw that right hand up top, that overhand right, off of the jab to the body. So those are the two biggest adjustments I see from him. I think he needs to stay off the ropes, and I think he needs to use the jab more to the body. And I think he can end up, because he was already close to stopping Castano. Castano gonna feel his power. We know that. So he got to set it up better by not getting into exchanges on the ropes and using his jab. And I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay in the second fight.
Yeah, yes, sir. Juan Hernandez, tell Mr. Rubio congratulations on his fight on Saturday night. They didn't televise the undercard, but just let him know that we was rooting for him, and congratulations. He's still undefeated, and just let him know that KQKC was rooting for him. All right. Now, now knockout. That was great breakdown. But only thing about it, I have everything you were saying, but he got to back him up. He got to stop him from backing him up, and he got to try to bag Castano up. So if he backs Castano up, then he can pretty much do basically what he want to do. But stick with that body. Always go down to the body, because remember, the head moves, but the body don't. And that's what he's going to have to learn how to do. Go to the body. Go to the body. Go to the body. And then outside, you're going to have to get your mind together. You're going to have to get yourself together as far as, dumb shit, and and humble yourself. That's what's gonna have to happen. Humble yourself. So, but now Mikey Garcia, always chasing that dollar, always chasing that money, always. Now what I hear, he's a good businessman. Yeah, but goddamn, that ain't gonna be enough when you get in there with Gervonta Tank Davis. All right, that ain't gonna be enough. All right, you can be a businessman all you want to, but goddamn it, Mike want to fight Gervonta Davis. He said they both want it. Let's make it happen. All right, now I don't know if he's cloud chasing or I don't know, but he comes with a price tag, no doubt about it. I mean, he has a great resume. He was right behind Floyd as far as breaking the Marciano record too. He had to sue Bob ass, and he had to sit down for a while. Then Floyd just took off. But still, now he wants to call out Gervonta Davis and fight him. Now, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Experience versus youth. But the power. Now, is Mikey that fundamental sound that he won't see that punch coming? And Javante Davis like to throw that shovel jab, that uppercut, and knock you out. Now, would he be able to do that on or Mikey Garcia with his fundamental style? I don't know, because they both are about the same height, damn near. So that would be that would be a great fight to see. And Mikey, he playing with fire, fighting at 147, making for 147, jumping back down, jumping back up, jumping back down. You're doing your body a lot of harm. So he gonna have to get in there and stay at one weight, around one, maybe two weights, and finish it up. I know what he's trying to do: get a bag and get the hell up out of there. I get it. So I don't know, but what you think about it?
So I saw this and I thought, okay, this would be a great opponent for
Uh-huh.
Javante Tank Davis. Like, I already
Uh-huh.
had my list. My list was like, if he get 140, I want Josh Taylor, I want Regis Prograis for Javante Tank Davis. If he
There
at
you go.
135, I want Devin Haney, because I don't think Tiafimo or Loma are realistic, because it looks like Tiafimo about to drop that belt and go fight Loma. So
Yeah.
Mikey Garcia will move to the top of the list, to one of the tops of the list for a couple of reasons for me. Number one, it's a good fight. It's a 50-50 fight that could go either way with Mikey Garcia's timing, his ring IQ, and he got a granite chin. So I'll be interested to see, that would be a feather in Gervonta's cap if he can stop him and Earl Spence didn't stop him.
Wait a
You
minute
know what I
now.
mean? That would be a huge feather in his cap. And Mikey, for all the stuff that we talk about on the man, got one loss. He's
Right.
40-1 with 30 knockouts, and he only lost to Earl Spence. That's an
Right.
outstanding name to have on your resume
Mm-hmm.
as a 4 division champion. So all of that shit people talk about, Mario Barrios and Pedraza and the kid Nunez and Gamboa. Like, you can't talk shit if he fights Mikey Garcia. So it would be a good name on his resume that's still viable. But like you, when fighters jump up and wait and start jumping back down and they on the other side of 30, I don't like it. I feel like
Yeah.
he could come in drained. He's been looking fat, like he's been eating a lot of tacos and chalupas and shit lately. So I don't even know if he could make 140. But if he can make 140, I would
Uh,
love that fight, and then it would sell. I think off top, it would be the first opponent Gervonta has had since going on pay-per-view that can actually help him sell the fight. Because all the numbers that he's been doing so far, like, yeah,
uh,
Mario Barrios, he had a little following or whatever, but that fight
mhm.
was mainly sold because of Gervonta Tank Davis.
Of
With Mikey
course.
Garcia, it won't be that. He'll have somebody that can actually sell the fight with him that has a huge fan base. So from a business perspective, it'll make, we know Mayweather loves his money. It'll make him
Right.
more money than anybody that Tank could possibly fight right now. And then
Right.
inside the ring, I've always said, like, if you Gervonta Tank Davis size in terms of like his height and his stature, I don't know who I would pick to beat him. I think you got to have physical advantages over him, like height, reach, length, be physically
Right.
stronger, and all of that shit. Like, they will both be about the same size at 5'5" and 5'6". Mikey would have only a 1-inch reach advantage or some shit like that. That's a good
Right.
ass fight. And if you if you
Yeah.
if you really believe Tank is a star like that, if you team Mayweather and you believe that he's the man, like a lot of his fans and his team and his handlers believe, like, shit, put him in there with Mikey.
That's what
Put
I
him in there
said.
with Mikey, because that shit will sell and nobody can criticize the opponent. And
Exactly.
the only thing I would hate for it is that
Mhm.
it would be another time that Regis Prograis got passed over. You know what I
Right.
mean? I wouldn't like that, because Tank already took Mario Barrios from him. He was supposed to get the Barrios fight. And then
Right.
it was rumored that Regis was about to fight Mikey. And then now if
Right.
Mikey ended up fighting Tank, then that's another
Right.
opponent. That's why. So people wondering why Regis running around here like, yo, Tank, I knock you the hell out, bro. I'm gonna beat
Right.
your ass.
Right.
People want to
Yeah.
know why. That's why, bro. Like, he keep taking this man bags, bro.
Yeah.
He
I
keep
know.
taking his money, man.
I
So,
know. As,
but strictly on Tank and Mikey, I would love that fight.
yeah.
I would
Okay.
love that fight. It is a pay-per-view worthy fight, and these are the type of opponents that people want to see Tank against to prove that he is what a lot of us, think that he is. And beating Mikey, if he can somehow stop him, like I said, shit, you can't do nothing but tip your hat off to him. Even the biggest Tank haters would have to give him credit for that. You talking about a man that's never been stopped, that's a 4 division champion, that only
Right.
lost to the number one welterweight in the world. And then if you Tank, a smaller guy, you go and stop him. Shit,
Yeah,
you got to give credit where credit is due on that one.
exactly. Yeah, exactly, man. You know, and Javante Davis, a lot of people think because he's short, you know, and the other fighter's taller, you don't have a chance in hell. But it doesn't matter about your height sometimes because you know you can work the body. Then when you start working the body, then the hands start coming down and they start leaning forward. Why? Because they don't want to keep getting hit in the body, the left or right kidneys. So they start leaning over a little bit, something like Lim did with Canelo. He started leaning over because them body shots was hurting. Then you go to an uppercut now. You know, you're right there. Then next thing you know, okay, boom, you down. Now, I don't mean to go back on this on knockout with you, but I looked at that fight again, that Charlo fight. Now, do you believe that it should have been a standard 8 count? Do you think that ropes held him up?
Yeah. I thought I said that. Yeah, I believe it. I believe if the ropes wasn't there, he would have got knocked down. If they did a standing 8 count, I wouldn't have had an issue with it. I
Okay,
wouldn't
okay,
have had an issue
okay,
with it because
okay.
you could see he like his knees didn't buckle, but he buckled down when Gastano caught him at the end of that
Yeah,
third round. He buckled down and he wobbled back a little bit, and them ropes
right.
held him up. If they was in the middle of the ring, his glove would have touched that ground.
Yep.
He
There
would
you
have
go.
been knocked down.
Yep, I know I want fucking crazy. I'm crazy, but I ain't that damn crazy, right? But listen, now Lopez, we mentioned this, Lopez and Camboza. All right, now Camboza wasted his whole, he wasted 3 4 months. His wife wasted a trip over here, man. Well, maybe she had a vacation or something. I don't know, but she was pregnant, and she came over here to be with him hopefully to win the titles. And now he's thinking about dropping the IBF and go ahead and fight Lomachenko. He tells Camboza, well, you just a fish. And Lomachenko is a shark. So, other words, he disrespecting him like you ain't shit. You ain't nobody. So bye-bye. Go back to Australia. Now, 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 people like that, you know, sometimes karma's a bitch. And sometimes you might just get what you're asking for. Now, Triller, they pissed off. They are pissed off because they need that fight on their platform because Triller, they not doing very well, you know, financially. And so they need that fight. Bob saying, I need that fight too. You know, so Bob is Bob, and Bob's going to get his way. So therefore, Lomachenko, he don't know. He bit off more than he can chew. Now, I think they gave him some money up front. I'm not for sure, but they want their money back. They want everything back, and they want to sue his ass. You know, so I mean, he got a big problem. He got a big problem, and it ain't Lomachenko problem, but you know, so they might be fighting on ESPN. So we'll see. So I mean, I know you touched on that for a minute, but what you think about that
Man,
fight?
I got so much. So I think we make the mistake sometimes as content creators and boxing fans and people in the comment section. Like, it's two fighters in this fight, bro.
Mm,
And what we gotta understand is like Cambosa's his wife or whatever, she was pregnant, bro.
right,
She flew over here, like could have caught the COVID, could have got their unborn baby the COVID. This man
right,
Cambosis came over here for months, bro. For
r-
months. And to no fault of his own, the fight kept getting pushed back, bro. Like, let's
right,
not forget, like he was ready to fight on June 5th. They moved the shit back because they didn't want to compete with Mayweather. He was
right,
ready to fight on June 19th. They moved the shit back again because Teofimo Lopez got COVID. He's ready to fight with whatever date that they choose right now. But
right,
Teofimo Lopez, being a prima donna, being selfish, being immature, is about to back out of this fight and not behave like a champion. Excuse my language, but who the hell are you, bro? Who like
right,
who in the literal hell are you? Because last I checked, Manny Pacquiao ain't from America. He
right,
ain't from America. He from the Philippines. But guess where he fight? He come over here and he fight Americans.
right.
Canelo Alvarez, wasn't he born in Mexico? Don't ain't he from Mexico?
Yep,
But he fighting America. Didn't
right,
you get your shot? Didn't you get your shot here in America as an up and coming like 15-0, basically prospect slash contender? You had a belt, but you was really a prospect. Didn't you get your shot from a Ukrainian? named Vasily Lomachenko that came over here from his country. Y'all didn't fight in Ukraine. He
Right.
fought you in your country. But now all of a sudden you 16-0 with 12 knockouts and you too good to go fight in Australia because of a 14-day quarantine. But your opponent, George Kambosos, came over here and he quarantined for months.
Yeah.
And he been ready to fight for months. So as boxing fans, like, we gonna be okay with this? Like, the people, well, no, Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, that's a bigger fight, bro. I'm so tired of people having contracts and being contractually obligated to shit, bro, and then trying to skirt out on it. And it's always seemed to be like somebody that's associated with Top Rank, bro. That ain't me hating, that ain't me race baiting, that's just a fact. It seemed like it's always one of their fighters that's running around here not behaving like a champion, not meeting his contractual obligations, and now they want to skirt out of a fight. You willing to drop a belt so you don't have to fight this dude? But he's so easy and he food though, right? You gonna knock him out though, right? So what's the problem? And if we looking at the positive side of it, you get to grow your fan base because Kambosos is huge in Australia. Why don't you go over there and steal some Australian fans? And you know what that do to you, Fimo? That makes your fight with Vasily Lomachenko even bigger.
Yeah.
It makes it even bigger. So what are we really talking about? You don't want to quarantine for 14 days. Miss me with that shit, bro. Miss me with that shit. And everybody use this word, true boxing fans. Oh, if you a true boxing fan, bro, you need to be calling this shit out. If you got content creators that are out here that's not talking about this shit, you need to call them out for it, ask them why they ain't making videos on this shit, why they ain't doing live streams on this shit, because this shit is despicable, bro.
Right.
This shit is despicable. Teofimo Lopez ain't the only person that exists. You mean to tell me George Kambosos is gonna miss out on this opportunity that he worked hard for because somebody don't want to fight in Australia when champions and top name fighters do it all the time, bro? Anthony Joshua got his ass kicked, but guess what he did? He came across the fun and he fought Andy Ruiz, bro. Fighters do it every day, and fighters with much bigger names, much bigger fan bases, a much bigger following, and much more leverage do it than Teofimo Lopez. These people ready to pay you $4 million, bro. They ready to pay you $4 million. Your check say paid by Triller to the order of Teofimo Lopez. That means you fight where they tell you to fight, bro. Your only concern is going in there, whooping ass, and collecting your $4 million check. I don't even understand what we're really talking about. And if you somebody that's taking up for that shit, you need your head examined because this shit is all the way wrong, bro.
Yeah, very well put. Because I think he got shook. I think he got a little bit overestimated Kambosos, and he didn't want to take that risk of losing no belts. And like you said, that's what champions do. Earl Spence did the same thing. He went over there and got that belt from Kell Brook. That what makes a champion elevates his status. That what makes a champion elevate who he really is. Then once he come back over here, then he continue on and on. And sometimes you have to do that when you become the underdog or the B side. But now Earl is the A side. But he's willing to fight in Las Vegas or whatever, Texas, whatever. If you are a true fighter, you are a true champion, if you so-called say undisputed, you won't want to drop a belt that easy. You say, okay, well, I go to Australia, okay, I go ahead and take, and go there and fight my mandatory, but now this is the thing I'm confused. Maybe you can help me out on this. How is Lomachenko? Yeah, we know that unification trumps mandatories, but is Lomachenko, does he hold any belt now?
I can help you with that. Hell no, he holds no belts. Teofimo Lopez has the Super WBA belt. He has the IBF belt. He has the WBO belt, and he got that whack-ass franchise WBC belt. Devin Haney has the other belt, which is the WBC real belt. Those are the only two champions in the 135-pound division, unless you want to count Gervonta Tank Davis's regular WBA championship. So I have no idea how the hell Vasily Lomachenko would trump anything that's going on with George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez.
Me neither. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I just don't get it, because maybe just the rules that apply to Top Rank, because I can't see that there's no unification there. He's fighting his mandatory, one of his belts. See, each belt has a mandatory. Well, that each belt had a mandatory, and he's fighting. So he would rather drop the belt than take his ass over to Australia and fight. You know, that's crazy. That is so crazy to me. You know, I don't know what he's scared of, or maybe he think he gonna get robbed. I don't know.
What's even crazier, OG, is that we live in a world where there are actually people that will try to defend that behavior. There are actually people that will defend that behavior and actually say, "Oh well, you know, Tiafimo, he's still the real champion. That IBF belt, that don't mean nothing. He's still the real champion. He's still undisputed."
Yeah,
Teofimo
yeah,
Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko, they're fighting for undisputed in my eyes. I believe they're undisputed. Like, you know, shit like it's just whack, man. Go over there and knock him out if you're gonna knock him out. Like that's
right,
like that should be easy money. That should be the easiest $4 million you and your pops done ever made. Cause y'all said y'all gonna knock him out in like 3 rounds. If you a champion like that and you that confident, man, you be like, man, I'll fight you at your mama house, bro. I'll
right.
fight you in your backyard, and,
Yep.
and, and you can have whatever judges you want. Cause
Uh,
somebody got to be blind and they still gonna see that I whipped your ass.
yep.
Like I don't understand that shit, man. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I don't get it either. And you know, nobody gets it. And but Bob, you know, Bob is Bob. So he do what he want to do, and nobody say shit about it. Especially the WBC. And the WBC, you know, they they a bunch of bullshitters. That's what they are. Now I'm gonna keep it moving. You know, we got Joshua and Usyk. You know that fight is final, and now Joshua might just get a wake up call. Now Joshua is pretty much, I'm not gonna say robotic, but Joshua is pretty much Anthony Joshua. He does same thing. He doesn't make too many adjustments. But Usyk, a smaller fighter, but a faster fighter on his feet, and he's a boxer. He can get in and he can get out. Now, how you think that fight gonna play out? I mean, do you think that Anthony Joshua can catch him as he come in, or not?
I think he can. I think Usyk hasn't looked as good at heavyweight since coming to heavyweight. He struggled with Chisora a little bit, in my opinion. And
Uh,
to me, it's the most difficult jump to make, man. Like going from cruiserweight to heavyweight, that's different than going from welterweight to super welterweight, where it's only a 7 pound difference, or junior lightweight to regular lightweight, where it's a 5 pound difference. We're talking about he fighting somebody that's like 40, 50, 60 pounds heavier than what he's used to fighting. And someone with, like, whatever we want to say about Anthony Joshua, we're talking about somebody with real power, like
right.
real power, long as shit. And I just don't know. Like Usyk can box, like he can box. He got good boxing skills, but we ain't talking about nobody that's like Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward. That's just a supreme boxer that can just beat you with skills when you have every physical advantage over them. Like we ain't talking about him like that. Like he ain't like that with it. And while Anthony Joshua is robotic, he's
Mhm.
very powerful too, and his punches hurt, and he got a good uppercuts that he throws on the
Uh,
inside. So I'm not gonna pick the fight all the way, but I will say I favor Anthony Joshua in that fight because Usyk just hasn't looked that good at heavyweight to me. I need to see him. I would have liked to see him do better. Now I give him full credit because with how he's looked at heavyweight to take on Anthony Joshua, I mean you got to get a man credit for that because that's a huge step up from the opponents that he has fought thus far, and a top 3 heavyweight. So
mhm.
we'll see how it plays out. I just respect him for going after greatness. You know what I mean? But that cruiserweight to heavyweight jump, everybody ain't Evander Holyfield. Like that,
Right, right.
that's a different animal that we're talking about right now. So I like the fight though. What I like most about it is that it puts it on timeline. If we somehow are able, if Fury and Wilder actually fight on October 9th and
Mhm.
Joshua and Usyk fight on September 25th, everybody there was I want undisputed Fury and Joshua. That's the fight that all the fans want to see. If you really want undisputed like that, just because somebody else wins, they on the same timeline. A undisputed heavyweight fight should be very easy to make after this fight. It should be very, very easy to make. They only fighting 2 weeks apart.
Right.
So they on the same timeline. We should get that shit early 2022. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about mandatories. I don't want to hear shit about running shit back. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear none of that shit from anybody that was talking about Fury and Joshua being undisputed and being a huge fight. The winner of Usyk and Joshua should fight the winner of Wilder and Fury should they fight on October 9th, like it's being reported that they do. That's all I want to hear. If you changing your tune, then you showing your bias.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But see, that's the thing. We've been through this before. We've been through this a few years back. Anthony Joshua didn't want to come near Deontay Wilder. And now Deontay Wilder is a better fighter now than he was back then. Now, it's going to take money, persuasion to get Anthony Joshua to get in that ring. Now, he's going to try to age him out or maybe something like that. But like you said, there should be no excuses. I'm not talking about the fans. Not talking about the haters. I'm talking about Anthony Joshua. I'm talking about his promoter. Eddie tried to pull that shit last time, trying to bring a contract with Dylan White name on it. And you fight Dylan White, then you get Anthony Joshua. All right. But no, that's not going to work this time. It should be no excuse. If you want to unify the heavyweight division and Deontay Wilder, if he's successful in October, then okay, he got a piece of the heavyweight division. Now, if you don't want it, then you're not going to ever be a unified champion. Now, you're going to have to come and get it. Now, Deontay Wilder, I think he's more experienced now. He learned a few things now. People say, well, he can't remember in the heat of the moment, this and that. Well, you have to understand, we're talking about a man that started boxing at 19. We talk about a man that pretty much, I think, has a photographic memory, how to do things. Of course, he's not going to remember everything, but still, he still has that one thing that a lot of people have failed to, and that's that right hand. But I'm curious to how that fight would turn out if they come on and make this fight. So now with Fury. Okay, while we're on the subject, we'll talk about it. Shit, fuck it. Fury opt out to change trainers. He went and got Freddie Roach. Now, what's the reason why he changed trainers? Well, was Sugar Hill nervous about some shit, maybe? Or maybe Sugar Hill, on the verge of cracking. You know what I mean? But or maybe Fury needs to learn some things and get in shape and get ready, because now remember, the arbitrator, which is a judge, they asked for permission to have that fight in October. They had to go back to court for that shit. And they did. And he went on and said, okay, you know what? Okay. All right. Now, it turned out that he didn't have COVID. Now, if the judge was a strict judge, he would have, pretty much fined his ass or something. But because he lied. Now, I told the chat yesterday, the chief medical examiner said that once you test positive for a COVID test, 19, to test negative, it takes weeks for that to happen. So that was a lie. And then now, okay, how this fight is going to turn out now, because all eyes is on Fury, not Wilder, on Fury. Now, Fury's going to have to come in there pretty much naturally, your natural ability, going back, hitting like feathers, because he doesn't have a real heavy punch, but he's real tall and lanky. So what does he have to do?
That's why, in my opinion, so he changed trainers because he's full of shit. Okay. The COVID, the gloves, everything. Like, if anybody was wondering where I stand, he's a liar, he's a cheater, bro. Like that's what I think. I'm not gonna go into all detail because we can talk about that for hours upon hours. Now, with that being said, he changed trainers because he full of it, bro. Like think about it. Like, I want everybody to think about this for a second. In any sport, if you perform, and let's say you perform how he performed in the second fight against Wilder, and it was all legit, you wouldn't change shit. You wouldn't change nothing. You be calling the glove manufacturer like, look, bro, I need them same gloves. I need the exact gloves you made me because the shit worked so well the first time. You call your trainer, look, man, you gave me power. You had my punches flowing. You had me punching like I never punched before. You back in the corner. You wouldn't be changing trainers and shit, man.
Right.
You wouldn't be doing that shit if you was a bud boy. So if anybody has any doubt, you just, again, I said it earlier, you look at people's actions. He's changing trainers because he need a real game plan. He know he gonna have to fight. He need. Okay, look, if he do this, we need to do this. And Freddie Roach, I think he got his flaws. Don't get it twisted, but he's better than Sugar Hill in my opinion. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to look for upgrades and he's searching for answers because he doesn't feel like he has anything. He's faking COVID because he was out of shape and getting his ass whooped in sparring and he wasn't ready to fight. He's changing trainers because he knows he can't do what he did in the second fight. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah.
it's all just Tyson Fury being himself. Like while people continue to make excuses for him, while people continue to cover him as if he does no wrong, it's beyond me. But not me, man. Like he's full of it. He's grasping for straws because he knows what's coming. Like Deontay
Yeah.
Wilder is probably more focused than he's ever been. And an animal that is wounded, that has their back against the wall, that's the most dangerous kind because they ain't got nothing to lose, man. They ain't got nothing to lose. And we see how in shape he is. We see how focused he is. And Tyson Fury sees that too. And you best believe if he
Yeah.
getting beat up by F.A. Ajagba in sparring, if he getting beat up by Jared Anderson in sparring, who I think is a great young prospect in the heavyweight division, if they working him in sparring and you see the black eyes and all the busted lips and shit that they were showing,
Right.
you see all
Right.
that, what the hell you think he know what Deontay Wilder would do to him? So
Right.
he trying to postpone the fight to get ready. He trying to get another trainer to hopefully get some better training in. Because like you said, he gonna go back to running around the ring, being pillow fisted. And if you notice in that first fight, Deontay Wilder, when Tyson Fury was fighting like that, he finally got his timing down. And he
Yeah.
ended up knocking him down twice. And so he go back to doing that pillow fisted shit with no power, and Deontay Wilder ain't respecting it. It's only a matter of time. It's not gonna be if, it's gonna be when. Because if he go back to boxing like that, he's not like all this great boxer that people say Fury is, bro. He ain't athletic like that. He ain't moving around to where Deontay Wilder or
No.
other fighters can't catch him. Like
Right.
he'll get caught. Like you'll be
Right.
able to catch up to him and corner him, and you'll be able to land some shit on him if he can't keep you up off of him. So he knows what's coming, and he's just looking for more time to try to get himself ready if he even fights. Because we all saw what he did with Klitschko. I'm not believing that they fighting until the day of the fight when the bell rings. I don't care if they do the weigh in. I'm gonna be constantly refreshing this phone right here, looking
Right.
for some bad news to come through. Because
Yeah.
that's when I believe it, man. He's cost people thousands of dollars who bought tickets and plane tickets and shit. He's lying about a disease and that people have died from. I personally know people who were in the hospital for months with COVID, for
Yeah.
months, man. And for him to fake it like this and like, bro, you don't test positive on July the 5th and then test negative on July the 10th, bro. Like that shit, that's
Right.
impossible. Like you an
Yeah.
Avenger or some shit, bro. Like are you a superhero? Why are you out here like this where you just good like that? Like, bro, nobody believes you. We don't believe you, Tyson
Yeah.
Fury. And that's really all I got to say. I can't wait for October 9th. I hope it happened. I'm not holding my breath for it. But if it do happen,
Uh.
my I'm hoping for destruction. That's
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah. Man, that's one thing about it. Everybody know what Tyson Fury is doing. Everybody know when he changed trainers. But one thing that people don't know, old media haven't talked about it. Old media, we the only one talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody has said a word about it. Nobody haven't said anything about the change of trainers. Maybe one or two, maybe, and that's it. You know, and no one has said anything too much about the sparring, but maybe one or two. But they're not really talking about it. They're not putting it out there now. And that was Deontay Wilder. Now everything would be out there in the open, and everybody be asking questions, and people be writing articles and shit like that, But now, Deontay Wilder got the upper hand publicly, but it's a different story once you go in the ring, and I think Deontay Wilder will right now, where things seems right now that he will pretty much prevail in October. Now he has a choice, Tyson Fury. He has a choice. He has a choice. He can retire. That's what he can do. That's the only thing he can do, because the judge, the arbitrator judge, he's still a U.S. judge. He said that, hey, look, this fight, that's it. No more excuses. No more this or that. It's gonna have to take place on October, or he gonna have to retire. He cannot fight Anthony Joshua before then. He can't even fight the man down the street. You're right. You can't fight nobody but Deontay Wilder next. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. And you're right. People lost money. hotels and things like that. Plane tickets. I mean, who? I mean, you get a credit for plane tickets, so you got to pick out a place to go and shit, and say, well, I go to Mississippi or something, walk around for a couple of days, and get back to the plane. Because you have to use that. Some people only give you 30 days. Some flights. So I was gonna fly Southwest, and they give you, I think 6 months, something like that. So
yeah, but you have to take another trip, and people want to see the fight. Like,
right,
I don't want to come there and hang out, bro. People wanted to go
right,
see the fight. And the thing you mentioned about him retiring, like, I don't want that. I don't want it that easy for him. Like,
me neither.
they need to like strip his ass before he would, like, don't let him leave with dignity, because all he gonna do is try to come back. He gonna retire for a year and then come back. Oh, I'm unretired. Like, man, he looking for a loophole. Don't give it to him. I don't want him to be able to retire as a champion. I don't want him to retire as no champion. And none of that shit. If he don't fight on October 9th, by October 10th, his ass need to be stripped.
Yep.
That's your point blank. I don't want no retirement announcement. I don't want none of that shit, man. I'm tired of him. And once he fights Deontay Wilder, I'll probably never mention Tyson Fury again, man. I can't stand liars like him. He's such a liar. People talk about bad for boxing. That's bad for boxing, how unprofessional and how much of a liar he is. He literally lies all the time. What happened to the Prince? What happened to the Anthony Joshua fight? What happened to the COVID? What happened to the contract expiring? What happened to Deontay Wilder never exercised his clock? What happened to all of this shit, bro? And like you said, old media, they don't even cover the shit. They just reported like, oh, Tyson Fury has COVID. How come ain't nobody asking him, bro? How come nobody else has COVID? Or Bob, y'all said he had COVID, but we saw Joseph Parker at the USC fight. Or Bob, y'all said he had COVID, but he was training at the UFC facility. I thought you had to be tested before you can train at the UFC facility. How come none of them have COVID? Nobody cares what's going on with Tyson Fury. They just believe him. And for the life of me, I don't understand why, because he's the most unbelievable public figure I've seen probably ever, but definitely in a long ass time. Like, I believe literally nothing that he says. Nothing.
Yeah. So make sure everybody hit the like button. We got 97 people here. Make sure you hit the like button for your boy, the Singing OG. We got my man Knockout Boxing TV in here. All right. Yes, sir. He's dropping that knowledge on you. Dallas, Texas, where you got Earl Spence, is definitely saying he won't Terrence Crawford, baby. He's trying to stand up for Dallas, Texas. And right now, they saying Max Callum, a lot of other so-called commentators that couldn't make it in high school. And so they became commentators, so they at least can talk about the sport that they weren't good at. So therefore, they want to see. They saying that Manny Pacquiao would be the best ever. Now, when I say ever, we are talking about Muhammad Ali, George Frazier. They talking about ever. Now, that's crazy, the motherfucker, but still. But what do they say about Earl Spence then? If he beats Earl Spence, what you trying to say? Earl Spence is that good? So they're gonna make Manny beat him, so he gonna be that good? So that's what you're saying. It's like, it's just like, you trying to be funny, but then again, if laugh on your dumb ass, So that's what you're saying. Earl is that good, and trust me, them damn sit-ups that Manny Pacquiao is doing, that's not gonna help. We saw goddamn Lamar Peterson. He was up in the goddamn air on a trampoline, right? On one of them little things they do in the circus, they fly back and forth where he had his feet up there doing sit-ups, right? I mean, he was stacked, he packed, right? Still went down. No body shots hurt, and like I say, I don't care how many damn sit-ups you do. You can do 5,000 a day. That ain't gonna help, because your body is built different down there. Once that rib cage in right there, shit, man, that's something else. So how you think that fight gonna look and sit for Earl Spence?
So you're right. It shows how much respect they have for Earl Spence, even though they try to hide it.
Right.
It's gonna be tough for Manny. Look, he got so much to avoid, right? Errol Spence has a great jab. He's gonna have to try to get inside because he's a shorter fighter. So he got to try to get inside on the jab. But then when he gets inside on the jab and tries to get his punches off, he's dealing with a man that's bigger and stronger than him and a better inside fighter than him. That goes to the body better than him, that can ragdoll him, and all of that shit. So for Manny, you talking about somebody that's gonna have to be moving non-stop. Like, I gotta jump in, hurry up and throw a quick combination, hold my combination, freeze your hands up, then I gotta jump back out. Then I gotta jump back in, then I gotta jump back out. Whereas Earl, he can fight behind his jab, try to control the distance. He can go push forward, try to use his size, try to use his strength, and impose his will on Manny. He can go to the body. It's gonna depend on how Errol Spence wants the fight to go. To be honest with you, I think he can play to some of Manny's strengths and make it a much more competitive fight. I think that or I think he can steamroll him. But at the same time, everyone that's saying Manny Pacquiao is going to win, you need to have that same energy. If Errol Spence wins, you need to give him credit. You need to give credit where credit is due. Because I'm going to tell you this. I do agree that it'll definitely increase his legacy. Now, will it make him the greatest of all time? Hell no. Hell no. You can't be the greatest of all time being knocked out the way that he did, being schooled by Floyd Mayweather the way that he did, and never truly, like, as great as he is, he's never been considered the best fighter of any generation that he's fought in. He's never been considered the best when he was in the 90s. He wasn't considered the best in the early 2000s. And from 2010 to now, he hasn't been considered the best. While he's always been considered one of the best, there was always people that the consensus was where they were better than him. So if you haven't been the best in any particular era, I don't see how you can be the best of all time. That's just my opinion. That's how I view it. But, some people may disagree. But the actual fight itself, as I said, I just think he has a lot to overcome. Like, size in boxing matters. Arm reach matters. The actual skills and being able to go to the body, all of that shit matters in a boxing match. Like, all of them fast-ass hand speed and fast-ass punching. Like, okay, bro, when you get in there with Errol Spence, can you do that shit to him? Because he's not a heavy bag. And I just believe if you watch the Keith Thurman fight, you saw Keith Thurman be able to touch Manny. You saw that was a highly competitive fight. People want to have selective memory. It ain't like Manny Pacquiao dominated him. That was a split decision victory.
Exactly.
That was a very close fight, bro. That was a very close fight. And so when you look at Errol Spence, who has a much higher work rate than Keith Thurman, you look at Errol Spence, who's a much more inside fighter, a much more better inside fighter than Keith Thurman, and Manny Pacquiao absolutely positively hates getting punched in the body. Yeah. And he's been slowing down lately in fights. I think Manny's best shot is going to be the first 6 rounds of the fight because he slows down tremendously. He slowed down horribly against Keith Thurman.
Facts.
And people aren't talking.
Thurman said, he said that the other day. He said he looks slow. Very slow.
He looks slow. And then the other thing, people aren't like, bro, you really you took 2 years off and you fighting Errol Spence, bro. Like, 2 years off matters. Will he be the same Manny Pacquiao? I mean, 40 and 42, that's different. I know I'm 35 and I feel different at 35 than I did even at 34. I'm like, damn, my knees, what's going on? Why do I have to stretch now before I take a walk? Like, what's up? So 2 years out of the ring and then going to be a professional world level fighter, shit. And you fighting Errol Spence, good luck, bro. That's a tough ass comeback. Just to take a walk, I gotta stretch, bro.
I drive to the corner store.
Shit.
I drive to the corner store. You trying to take a walk?
Yeah, man.
But
yeah, I see it kind of how you see it. I think it's gonna be tough for Manny. I'm not counting him out. He's a legend in the game. Much respect to him. 8th division champion, all of that shit. But I just think Errol Spence is a bad matchup. I just think it's a bad matchup for him. Too long, too strong. And when you longer and you stronger and you fight better on the inside, it's hard to pick against you in that fight, man. It just is.
Yeah. I don't know what Max Kellerman got that from. Talking about he would be considered he would be considered the best in the world. Now he's saying Muhammad Ali, this and that. I don't know. He getting that from the 8th division or whatever. But things were different back then. And Manny, he does have a loss on his belt. A couple, and Muhammad Ali did too. And I'm just comparing. I'm just using him as an example. But he was a true champion. Manny Pacquiao, like I said, he been knocked out cold before. Now I haven't seen them, but allegedly PEDs played a part in some, in his career sometime. But I know this is a money grab thing for him, and now he can't tell me that he picked Floyd. I mean, not Floyd. He picked Earl because Earl is pretty much a silent fighter, and he looking for incitement. No, 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 no. That ain't the reason why you picked Earl. You picked Earl because he's the man at 147. You picked Earl because he has two belts, pretty much on his way to get three. Then end up getting four. So there you go. I mean, you picked him because of the bag and how much numbers and asses he put in the seats for pay-per-view. You know, every time he fights, it's pay-per-view now. It's all day. And you got Shane Crawford. They joking about this and that. Well, in the past, he living from pay, but he making money. Only way you can make money in boxing, you got to fight. You got to fight. If you don't fight, everything going out ain't shit coming in, and that's the problem I had with Crawford, yeah. So, let me get this super chat. This is Cano Loco Sports, and that chat. Yes, sir. Cano Loco Sports said dope panel. Salute to both of you. Yes, sir. Man, knockout Boston TV. That boy, yeah, he knows shit. So, yes, sir. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Did I stop you from saying something?
No, you didn't. My wife came and asked me a question real quick though while we on this Earl Spence and because you mentioned Terrence Crawford. I just want to know. Terrence Crawford responded to Jermell Charlo. You know what I mean? He said what he said to Jermell, felt like he lost, which is cool. That's a good opinion to have. But see, this is when I say stuff, like I'm looking at everything. So when I said earlier in the show, when I said, look, man, I don't know if he necessarily want to smoke like that because his actions would dictate him leaving Top Rank, and he ain't did that shit yet. Here's another example of because that same night that he was talking all this shit about Jermell Charlo, Earl Spence also said something. Earl Spence also did an interview that same night, and he said, I want Terrence Crawford after I fight Manny Pacquiao. Why didn't Terrence Crawford respond to him? Why didn't he say shit to Earl Spence? Like, why talk shit to Jermell Charlo instead of the champion that's in your division that's saying that he want to fight you? Why not tweet back at him? And so that I just wanted to say that really quickly because stuff gets lost in translation. Like it seemed like you hating or you don't want. Nah, bro, I want to see you get these fights. I want to see you go after the smoke, bro. And that was a perfect opportunity. Oh, you said you want to fight me. Well, bro, I'll knock you out. I'll do this. Like, what's up? Like, why didn't you do that, bro? So I just feel like he moves wrong in a lot of situations, and he acts like forget what his fans say, and people that are fanboys of him forget what they say. I'm looking at what he do, and to me, somebody that won't smoke. If you tell me you want to fight me, well, guess what, bro? I want to fight you too. Right. So what's up? You said you coming after me next. Don't. And then he could even call Earl Spence's bluff if you believe he bluffing. If you believe he gonna really go fight Ugas. Okay, well say that shit now, bro. You said you want to fight me after Manny Pacquiao. Well, what's up? I got a belt just like Ugas. Come see me then. But you busy fighting, talking to a fighter that we know you're not gonna fight, bro. You're not finna move up and go fight Jermell Charlo. Talk shit to the person that's in your own division that also mentioned your name. So that's just, that's my thought on that. Because I heard you mention like Terrence Crawford was talking. Yeah, bro, but to me, he was talking to the wrong fighter. Because it was another fighter that was calling your name that everybody want to see you fight, bro. Right. Everybody wants to see that fight. So
we know he's not going to move up. We already know that he's not going 154. And now, of course, like I mentioned the other day, the WBO, they have a rule. If you are a champion at welterweight and you move up to 154, you become that mandatory to that champion at 154. And so, but I don't think Bud's going to do that.
I don't even think I think Castano. I ain't gonna pick the. I don't think he want to fight Castano. Okay?
Oh, Bud.
I'm Bud. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Hey, I will if he moves up and fights Castano, I will make a video, a live, everything. Say I was wrong, and if he beats him, he will get 100% credit because that is I don't like the matchup for Bud. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna pick it. But damn it, that would be a tough ass fight. But he
Yeah.
can do that. Go ahead and do it if you want to. Prove me wrong, please.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, sure. We had 100 some people here. Please hit the like button and shake it up, baby. Shake it up and shake it down. Move it in and move it out. All right. Now, I kept on asking everybody, where is Ryan Garcia? Where the hell has he been? You got JoJo Diaz called him out, right? Now, usually he'll say something on Instagram or he'll say something to somebody else or some interview or whatever. Now, I don't know, but they said he was cured. He didn't have anxiety no more. But then I understood that maybe he's trying to get a deal with Triller because, see, remember, Oscar trying to make a deal with Triller. He's trying to get in bed with Triller now. So maybe they trying to come up with something and maybe they keeping it on the down low. I don't know. All I know is where is Ra? I haven't seen his ass. I haven't seen him with the Burger King hat on. I ain't seen him nowhere. So I wonder why. I mean, this was last week. He said this, JoJo Diaz. I mean, damn, we're going on, man, almost 2 weeks. I mean, where is he? What is he doing? What you think?
He's somewhere realizing that this shit done got real. Okay. Boxing is not for play. Like, listen, like, can he beat JoJo Diaz? Like really? Like, can he beat the JoJo Diaz's? Can he beat Javier Fortuna even? Can he beat Nakatani? Can he beat the, like, are we sure? Are we 100% sure based off of what we've seen? Getting dropped by Luke Campbell, whose best trait and the thing that he did best in life was be a contender. Be a contender. He ain't never been like, if you getting dropped, like, now Ryan Garcia came back, he got up off the canvas, he knocked Luke Campbell out, and he showed some grit. But damn it, if Luke Campbell can get to you, bro, if Luke Campbell can get to you, like, do you really want smoke with the top of the division? So I think he's somewhere, OG, realizing shit done got real, and a lot of these fights are 50-50 fights where you might have to favor the other fighter, bro. Like, he knows what's up, and so maybe he's looking. And then, like, why would you be trying to sign with Triller? They don't have no fighters, bro. Right. If you really want to fight and be great and you want to box again, why would you go to Triller? Triller ain't got shit for you. They don't have no fighters. Shit, Teofimo Lopez, that bad deal they did with him, shit, they might be out of business soon. Right. Because if he about to do to them, they might be gone. So what are you really doing? I think he's somewhere trying to think of a master plan and how to, become a TikTok star, keep the fake subscribers on Snapchat and Instagram coming in and all of that shit. Because for Ryan Garcia, man, it done got real. It done got real because no one wants to see him fight another, old ass veteran, no journeyman fights, none of that shit. You talk all that shit. You did all this clout chasing. All right. People are starting to call your bluff. People are starting to say, all right, bro, well, come fight me then. And now you ghost. Now you ain't got shit to say. They ain't got shit to say. When people was ignoring his ass, when they wasn't talking back to him, he'll knock Tank Davis out in 2 rounds. Devin Haney can't see him. You know what I'm saying? He'll do all of this shit. But then when people start being like, you know what, bro? All right, Floyd, call over there. Let's get the fight right quick. Or JoJo Diaz like, yeah, I'll fight Ryan Garcia. What's up? And now he don't want to say shit. Now he ain't got shit to say. He's somewhere. He like one of them little dogs that bark behind the fence, but then the minute that you open the gate, they don't run out that mug. That's what Ryan Garcia is, just staying behind the fence, bro. Like, that's what he doing right now, OG. Like, he just somewhere chilling. Like, man, I don't even know if I can beat any of these dudes. Yeah, I don't know if I can beat any of them. So let me just lay low until somebody come up that's a little bit easier for me. So that's my thoughts on him. I don't really like to give him too much of thought because I feel like I don't like people who use shit like mental health and COVID and shit just to duck out of fights, bro. I don't like that shit. Like, ain't nothing. You talking about some mental health and then you was on the beach somewhere with your lady like 2 or 3 days later, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Yeah. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit at all, man. So, more power to him. I wish him nothing but success. But if he gonna be in this boxing shit, he gonna have to fight somebody. Cause that's what we want. We calling your bluff. We don't believe you. Now prove us wrong.
That's right. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. Salute to you. Blue Blood. He said, salute to the brothers in the LDBC. Kevin Faulkner. And that super chat. He said, great content, brothers. Good to hear two knowledgeable and unbiased boxing thought leaders dropping that real knowledge. This is that content that we stand up over time. That's right. That's right, brother. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Knockout
Appreciate the kind
boxing
words,
TV.
Kelvin.
Yes,
Appreciate the
sir.
kind words.
Yes, sir. Yeah, knockout boxing knows his boxing, and I appreciate it. That's why I asked him to come on, and he's he's doing a great job talking that boxing talk, and he's right. Ryan Garcia, you're right. Things got real with him, and now he's supposed to be fighting in the place of Jojo Diaz, and Jojo Diaz stepped right up and took over and did a great job. Now he's not running, he's not hiding. He said, "Yeah, okay, I'll fight Devin Haney because it made more sense." Because you have to understand, Jojo Diaz only made $300,000 when he fought Javier Fortuna. Now Ryan Garcia, he made 500,000 when he fought Luke Campbell. But Devin Haney, he made close to what 3 million when he fought Linares. So what makes sense? I think it makes sense to fight Haney because I would have a bigger payday. Matter of fact, I would have the best payday of my career. So there you go. So I mean that makes sense. So next fight we'll see. Hopefully will be Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz. Now Jojo Diaz in that fight, he kept it real. He came in there, he took the shots. He had the earmuffs on, coming forward, and he was trying to let the hand go right away. Something like what Castano did. Castano had the earmuffs on, and soon he got a little bit closer and had Jamal going right back to the ropes. Then here come that overhand right. Now that was a sneaky overhand right because you never seen it coming until he hit him. So he did a good job with that. Now, some people say, "Oh, he's just an aggressive, come forward fight," but that was controlled aggression, and that was pretty much planned out aggression. So now we're seeing, like you say, Ryan Garcia saying, "Hey, this thing getting real now." I can't lie on Manny Pacquiao 3 times. And I can't sit there and tell Javante Davis, boy, I whooped this and that. Mike Tyson still pissed off at that because Mike Tyson thought he made a fight. But he didn't. Now he went off and said, he had some problems and this and that, but he's taking selfies of a woman on the boat. See, all this lying and shit is catching up with everybody. So now look at Tyson Fury. He want to get serious. Almost a month and a half out of a true fight, where he probably will be getting beat up. And of course, his daddy. Now daddy injected himself in this conversation. So his daddy believes that Deontay Wilder's career will be over once he fight on Tyson Fury. I don't believe it. No, I know that wouldn't. No, but no, taking up for your son because your son wasn't ready. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, so Tyson Fury, I mean, his dad is supposed to take up for him, so I ain't mad at that. But his dad
Right.
was a trash fighter and not that good, and he's talking about Deontay Wilder fighting for his life, and I was like, bro, just tell your son to show up, man. Just tell him to show up, quit playing games, and get in the fight. Because I remember when you said your son would never fight Deontay Wilder, and that's exactly what it looked like he's trying to do. So tell him you want to talk about.
Right.
See, it's always like Deontay Wilder in this equation is supposed to somehow just move aside. He's wrong, like for wanting what's owed to him. Like you ever loan somebody some money and then they get mad at you because you asked for your money back?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, like
Man,
that's how they.
I tell you, I give it to you, man.
Yeah,
Stop
like
asking.
yeah,
Motherfucking
like
mine.
that's how they come. That's how Fury and his whole team come across right now. Like y'all signed for a third fight, right? Like y'all signed this shit. Y'all said y'all wanted this shit, and y'all would agree to it. Whether if you win, you got to give me my rematch. If I win, I got to give you my rematch. We was all on the same page, but now somehow y'all reading a different book somewhere, and
Right.
and to me that's like it don't make sense. It don't make sense. And so he talking about, he's scared for his son 1 minute, then 1 minute his son gonna end Deontay Wilder's career. Look, we don't need you to do nothing else. Mr. John Fury, Tyson Fury, his brothers, we don't need y'all to do nothing else but show up on October 9th. Oh, but wait a minute, John Fury can't even come to the States. Your ass can't even come to the States. So you stay where you at and you watch the fight, but just tell your son to show up. Tell your son to show up and not retire. We don't want him to retire. We don't want him to not fight no more. We want to see him fight. We want to see him fight on October 9th, man. We want to see him fight on October 9th. Stop getting mad because you got to do what you're supposed to do. That's all they're doing. They're making excuses and they trying to blame Deontay Wilder when everything that has went wrong with this situation is their fault. It don't make sense. So that's my thoughts on it. Like, you can take up for your son all day. That's cool. But as a father, I have kids myself. You're supposed to teach them to do the right thing. You like I teach my kids, look, if you go buy that car, if you got a car note, you got to pay that shit. They don't care if your car break down. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. You get a mortgage if you want to and let something happen to the roof. You got to fix that damn roof. You got to fix that damn roof. Like, they don't care. And guess what? They still want your mortgage too. While you paying the contractors to fix your roof, they still want their mortgage. Your mortgage company ain't gonna care. I say all that to say you gotta honor what you sign, bro. You have to honor what you sign, and we gotta hold people accountable to that shit. And if you John Fury, you should have taught your son that shit. If you didn't want him to fight Deontay Wilder again, then shit, you should have told him not to sign a piece of paper. You should have told him not to agree to the deal. But now that he didn't agree to it, y'all want to act like Deontay Wilder wrong for wanting what's owed to him. That shit's stupid to me. It makes no sense. I don't understand that logic whatsoever.
I don't either. And now, like I said, you made a commitment, and you have to own up to the commitment. You got to pay. Pay what you owe. And they have a problem with that. I don't know why. And I still say that Tyson Fury every day, just like a convict in jail, you're trying to find a way to beat the system. And I believe that what Tyson Fury's still doing. He's still trying to find a way. He's still trying, don't get me wrong, but he's still trying to find a way to beat the system. Because he'd rather beat it than get in that ring with Deontay Wilder. Why? Because Deontay Wilder, he don't know what he's thinking. He don't know what he's thinking about because he's not saying anything. All right? Now, they might release a tape here and there, and that's all he sees. Matter of fact, he kept it in his phone. So I mean, it is what it is, and we're gonna see come October. But I mean, it is what it is, and you're right with Ryan Garcia. He feel that things got serious with him. And now he'd rather sit this one out. And how long? I don't know. He wasn't planning on fighting that long anyway, he said. So, hey, I ain't mad at him. But now, I just going to double back on Pacquiao and Errol Spence. Now, Errol Spence said he's going to retire Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny Pacquiao said this could be his last fight. Now, I don't know if he want to go out like that, or would he go out like Oscar De La Hoya went out when he fought Manny Pacquiao. So I don't know, but I think that would be this is going to be a good fight, pretty much. Now, like Keith Thurman said, he slowed down a lot. Errol Spence now can utilize what he know how to do. And now Manny Pacquiao does change a lot of angles. He does throw a left and go out to the right, stuff like that, But you are fighting a southpaw also, but it's a different type of southpaw. There's not one of them southpaws that hit and run. We're talking about a fundamental style type southpaw. So, and a stronger southpaw and a younger southpaw. So, I mean, if I had my money, I would say Errol Spence will win this fight. But do Manny Pacquiao has a chance to pretty much give Errol Spence his first loss?
I mean, kinda, but I don't see it. But I mean, you always got to give somebody with his resume a shot because he does, have power. He hasn't knocked anybody out in a long time. Let's keep it real. It's just when Errol Spence says he's gonna retire him, it's the punishing style, and it's like their styles in terms of like it's vinegar and oil to me for Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao, man, like he slows down as fights go on, but Errol Spence gets stronger as fights goes on. Manny Pacquiao can't really handle a good jab. Errol Spence has a really good jab. Manny
Yeah,
Pacquiao doesn't like getting hit to the body. Errol Spence hits to the body very, very well. Manny Pacquiao has trouble getting in on people that can control the distance and have great timing. Errol Spence is a master at controlling the distance, and he has very good time. And like it's bad. So when he says that he's gonna retire him, I worry about it. And the thing I worry about it most is you probably should have caught Errol Spence when he was partying and drinking and shit. And you don't
yep.
want to catch Errol Spence right now disciplined with nutritionist and has a strength and conditioning coach back and shit. Like
Ooh,
I
wow.
think it's a bad time for this.
Yeah,
And then you also look at, Manny ain't fought in 2 years. Manny ain't. It's just, man. I hope everybody makes it out of the fight okay. I hope everybody is healthy. Everybody make it back to their family. But I do think that there is a chance that at some point in this fight, Manny Pacquiao might have to make a business decision. He
yeah,
might have to make a business decision. I think as the rounds go on, round 7, round 8, round 9, he gonna have to be looking at himself like, damn, do I really want to continue to take this shit? Because Errol Spence, he's not gonna stop. Like
right,
anybody that think like he already wasn't stopping when he wasn't training how he was supposed to, and when he wasn't as dedicated. Going back to his like Chris Algieri, Kell Brook days and shit like that. Like he's
right,
not gonna slow down. Manny Pacquiao is gonna slow down, and at that point in the fight, when that shift happens, when Manny Pacquiao slows down a little bit, he becomes a little bit easier to catch. His punches don't have the pop on them that they used to. And, we all know Manny Pacquiao can't fight going backwards. And Earl start pushing him back and landing more body shots. But the jab still ain't stopped pumping. He's still pumping the jab at the same time. Like, bro, Manny might have a decision to make if he really
yeah,
want to go be president. Because in order to be president and shit, you got to be able to talk. You got to have your faculties. You got to have, be able to be coherent and shit. He don't want Spence to knock his ass incoherent. So we'll see. I just think it can get ugly. Like, and Earl Spence is his silence and the way that he's moving is kind of scary right now in terms of like how focused he coming across. I don't know. And he like already in shape. He looked like he can make weight today.
right.
He
That's
looks like
it.
he
He's
could.
95% already. Wow.
Yeah, like it's looking very, 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 very difficult for me to pick Manny in this fight. But I will continue to give him a chance because of the respect that I have for him and what he's accomplished.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very well put. Very well put. But yeah, that's how I see it. Now, this is the thing I want to talk about. Now, Earl Spence. Okay, this is his so-called era. Okay, he's about to take another walk up to another division. Floyd and Manny Pacquiao era is gone. Now we got a new era. We got a new era of young, hungry lions. All right. And I'm talking about, they don't care about legacy right now. They don't care about that. They are caring about daring to be great. We talking about Bruce Innocent. We talking about Ortiz. We talking about Ramirez. We talking about Gervonta Tank Davis. Right now at 147, I'm talking about. We got Bruce Innocent. Now he's a great fighter. No doubt about it, Philadelphia all the way. And he can do things that Terrence Crawford can do, switch back and forth. He does control the distance also. And he does fight very good in the center of the ring. And he can fight inside in the pocket. So but when you say, now I say that he will be a champion, it's just a matter of when he will be a champion. Or would he have to go through people like Sean Porter or Keith Thurman or those type of 147 pounders, the top 5 147 pounders? And can he get through those guys, or would he accept the L trying to go through a Keith Thurman or because remember he's still young though.
He's still young. I got, when I started this channel six months ago, whenever it was, when Boots Ennis fought Sergey Lipinets, I made a video the very next day. Y'all can feel free to go check it out. And I still hold this belief. If Boots Ennis is fighting anybody at 147 pounds, I would pick him to beat everybody except Earl Spence Jr. And even that is a 50-50 fight to me that I don't feel comfortable picking. The reason is the reasons are simple for me.
Uh,
He the way that he came up, he was born and bred to fight. So the dedication there from his father and his brothers and everything, and how hard he works, he's always in shape. Then the ungodly talent that he has, you can see the talent. Like if you got eyes, you can see how talented he is. The only question when I see a fighter where the only question I have about them is, can he take a punch? That's the caveat. If Boots Ennis can take a punch from a top level fighter, if he's able to take a punch and he has a solid chin, he's a problem. He's a problem because of how tall he is, how much power he carries in his punches, and the fact like the man switches in the middle of a combination, y'all. Like
right.
he'll switch his stance while throwing a combination to get a better angle on the punch. And his reflexes, like he just got shit that you can't teach. Like you can't teach how fast his reflexes are. Like when he did that shoulder roll on Sergey Lipinets and then threw that uppercut and knocked Sergey Lipinets all the way across the other side of the ring, I was like, damn, we got us one. So I could be wrong, but I'm standing on that right now. Like I believe in him. I believe he'll beat Sean Porter. I believe he'll beat Keith Thurman right now. I believe he beats everybody except Earl right now. And then even then, like ask me that question again in another 2 or 3 years, that answer might change. I think him along with people don't talk about Gary Antoine Russell enough down at 140. Those are my two favorite young fighters right now. Those are the ones I love both of them. I love both of them right now. So I'm really, really high on Boots Ennis. I'm not just saying that right here, right now. I said this months ago. I think he'll be world champion. And I think he's ready for the top dogs right now.
Yeah, that's what I said right now. I love to see him fight Keith Thurman right now. Because Keith Thurman, he never went up, never went down. He always stayed at welterweight. He started a career there, stayed there. And now you brought up Gary Antoine Russell. You're right. A lot of people haven't discussed him. Everybody pretty much Gary Russell, Mr. Gary Russell. But Gary Antoine, he is something not to be played with at 140. All right. All of them been taught to fight southpaw. And they are very, very fundamental. And they always in the gym. And Gary Antoine can fight. Now, a lot of people is pretty much he's not getting the exposure that he should be getting. No, he should be getting a little bit more exposure, and maybe he has to keep knocking people out, or maybe he's gonna have to keep on doing what he's doing. Then he's gonna get that recognition, and he's gonna have that breakout fight.
Yeah, you know? He did. I like the fight that he just had where he took on Adrian Broner's opponent and did something that Adrian Broner can't do to draw attention to himself. He stopped the guy that Adrian Broner couldn't stop, and a lot of people feel like Adrian Broner lost his last fight. So Gary Antoine, I love the style. I love the pressure that he brings. I love how he like the jab is always going, and he seemed to be a dog, and them fundamentals is on point for Gary Antoine Russell. So I'm excited. Hopefully, like you said, maybe talk a little bit more, or if you ain't gonna talk a little bit more, just continue knocking people out, continue to call out the big names, and people will eventually have to come see you. But he's somebody, I see a lot of y'all in the chat are co-signing him as well. If you haven't checked him out and you don't know who he is yet, you need to go find out. You need to go find out. Gary Antoine Russell, Gary Russell Jr.'s little brother, he can fight. And he got a chance to be better than all of the Russells, in my opinion.
Yeah. So 817, Boston B, he said, knockout Boston 86 TV. You killing it, famo.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, he is. Yes, sir. Yeah, I told you he knows boxing and good thing. He got a chance to get on today, and I appreciate it. You know, so but but now let's go to his older brother. Now, everybody was pushing for Gary Russell and Devin Haney. All right. Matter of fact, people was out there saying, well, BFTV, oh, he made a fight. This and that. I said, well, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Not on YouTube, you know, and plus Al don't play that, you know, and Eddie at that time didn't play it either, you know, and the fight didn't happen. Now, I always had a problem with this. I always said that Gary Russell Jr. Now, this is what I was thinking, and I don't know where I got it from, but I thought he only fought once a year to preserve his body. But I was wrong. He said nobody didn't want to fight him. That's the reason why. I mean, he held the belt. I don't know how long at 126. So why people don't want to fight him? Because argumentally, his hands are so fast right now in that division and 130 division that maybe that's why. I don't know. But what I do know is that he don't get the fight that he needs to get. There's a lot of fights out there that can be made with him. And like I say, Haney is one. And a lot of guys, Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. Why they never fought? Why Leo always stayed away from Gary Russell Jr.? That what I wanted them to know.
It seemed like it's a bad matchup for him and he's scared. But what I want for fighters to do, and what I said the same thing about Jamal Charlo. I've said this about Demetrius Andrade. I've said this about Devin Haney, and I say the same thing about Gary Russell Jr. You have to eliminate opponents from these people that you're chasing down, that you're running down on, and that you're fighting. You got to go fight the guys to eliminate potential opponents for them. So if you Gary Russell Jr., you might have to move up to 130 and take on a Burchell. So somebody like Oscar Valdez can't try to fight him again, or somebody like Shakur Stevenson can't fight him. You might have to go up to 135 to go seek the smoke and fight, try to fight JoJo Diaz again, which he already beat JoJo Diaz. So if Devin Haney will fight him, then I don't know why he wouldn't fight Gary Russell Jr. The thing, staying at featherweight, it's not the answer. Like I don't like for him to just stay at featherweight and continue to not get fights. He got to shake shit up. He got to shake shit up and try to move up or something and try to fight, one of these top 130 pounders if he can fight him. Like Chris Colbert and him would be a great fight.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a great fight, and that'll eliminate a top guy from 130 that other people can't go fight because you just beat him. You know what I mean? Right. So guys need to start moving like that. Same with Jamal Charlo. Like I would love to see him go ahead and beat up Demetrius Andrade because that eliminates anybody else fighting him because you beat the shit out of him. If he's gonna move up to 168, which I don't think he should drop his belt to move up to 168 if he can get an Andrade fight or a Triple G or something. But if he hypothetically was gonna fight at 168, you fight a David Benavidez so that way Canelo can't go fight him. Canelo will have to come see you, and on top of that, you building your own legacy. So my thing with these fighters that can't get the fights that we want to see them in is you got to start really not just saying the shit in the media, not saying the shit in YouTube. You got to start making these moves. Like you got to really like people would like. I'm not saying people don't take Gary Russell serious, but they would take him more serious if you said, "Man, look, Devin Haney, I'm gonna beat your ass." But before I do, since you think I'm playing, I'm finna move up here to 135 and I'm finna beat one of these other top contenders' ass. Then I'm gonna call your ass out after I already beat somebody up at 135.
He was gonna beat your ass, shawty.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass, shawty. Even though I'm like 5 inches shorter than you, I never got that shit. But yeah, like they gotta start. To me, I don't think the Russells talk enough, and I understand they come from that whole like, look, skills sell themselves. I understand that, but in today, social media, how short people's attention spans are. And the boxing fan base is getting younger because fans are getting younger because people unfortunately get old and health reasons happen and everybody dies one day. So you got to cater to what's going on right now. And right now in this social media area, you got to make yourself known and you got to move up. My advice to him would be to move up and try to fight some top names at 130 if you can't get the guys you want. There's somebody out there for you to fight, and instead of just waiting at 126. Calling out the same people for years that have no interest in fighting you. You know what I mean? Like at this point, Leo Santa Cruz, he don't want to fight you, bro.
Right.
He don't want to fight you. Like move on. Like he's not fighting you. Don't just stay at 126, wasting your career away because you're trying to unify with him. If you can't unify with him, go up to 130. Fight the top people up there. If you can't get them to do it, go up to 135. That's what he's gonna have to do. Until then, he's going to fight once a year, and we're going to be like, yo, what's up? Because remember, he's supposed to be fighting Ray Vargas, and we still ain't got a date. We still don't know what's going on with that fight. So I just hate it for him because I think he got so much skills, and I think he can really, like, make some noise at these other divisions. I'm tired of seeing them at featherweight, though, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, he might have to move up to at least 130, 135. So But okay, we're gonna get to the questions real fast. A couple people wanted to know about Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez. Is that a good fight, or would that be a good win for David Benavidez?
Dave Benavidez will wash him,
Yeah,
in
that
my
one.
opinion. I think
Yeah,
Andrade, people give him credit for a slick boxer, but if you look, he like trip over his feet a lot, and even in the last fight he was in against that Walsh guy, Walsh like hurt him in my opinion a couple of times. So I just believe if you get hurt by a guy like that, and you can get hit by a guy like that, Dave
mm,
Benavidez, his hand speed, his size, how big he is, like I don't think Andrade wants those problems. I don't
yeah,
think he wants those problems at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. Because I don't know how long was he inactive after the Rock Nation thing.
Oh man, at least I don't know off the top of my head, but it was a long ass time. It was a
Right.
long ass time for sure.
Because his old man, it was going into his prime and everything. And man, because when you're a fighter, your record still stays the same. Retire, you come back, and still stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he stayed undefeated, this and that, because he didn't fight. But yeah, that was man, that was but he blamed Rock Nation, but I don't. I blame him because Al Heyman at that time was looking out for Charlo, and gave him a little bit more money to fight. And he wanted the same, but Rock Nation, they new to the business. They ain't got that money like that, not yet.
Yeah,
So Jay Z and them, when they weren't paying no money like that,
not
so
like that. Yeah.
no. Then he got with Banner Promotions. Banner Promotions, like, hey, this dude, he keep on dropping out of fights and stuff, and he had to go. So Eddie picked him up. So, but yeah, those are good fights at 147. Then you got good fights at the lower weight classes, the lightweight division. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, actually, I think that's the hottest division right now. Actually, I'm gonna say from 130 to 135, and well, 130 to 140.
Yeah, if they start fighting each other.
Right.
If we can get them to get in the ring with each other, yeah. Like I want Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring down at 130. The winner fight Valdez. You know what I mean? 135. Let Teofimo, please take care of your business with Kambosos. Then give me, Teofimo versus Vasily Lomachenko too. While that's going on, give me Devin Haney versus JoJo Diaz. Tank Davis, look, bro. If you fighting at 140, three names now because Mikey Garcia done put his head in the ring. Like I
Yeah.
only want to see you fight Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, or Mikey Garcia, bro. Don't fight don't fight nobody like that. Those divisions can be lit, OG, and they can be fire, but they gotta
Mhm.
fight each other. I think what I would say is they got some of the more talented, more intriguing, and more kind of like outspoken boxers that make it more interesting in those
Mhm.
divisions. But I
Mhm.
can't say that they the best because they ain't fighting each other yet.
Right. 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 See, I can't. Well, yeah, I can blame both. I can blame the promoter and the fighter. You know, if you're a fighter, you want that fight, and you want that fight so bad. I promise you that fighter will get that fight. If you want to fight him that bad, or you want that belt or whatever, or unificate, whatever. But see,
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem. They not fighting each other, and that what makes people like it put a bad taste in people's mouth, and then they fighting somebody that some people never heard of, or like Ortiz. He gonna be fighting Mean Machine, right? Well, we all
Mm-hmm.
know what Mean Machine is now because
Yeah,
that's the
because he
one,
fought Terrence Crawford. Yeah.
right. So but still, when Terrence Crawford fought him, we didn't know who the hell Mean Machine was. Everybody was like, "Who is that?" Same with Canelo and Rocky Fielding. You
Yeah,
know,
all facts. Like that's the thing. Like the excuse of who has he fought or he doesn't bring anything to the table, but then you go fight a lesser fighter. That's
yeah,
the thing that gets me. Like you hear guys like Teofimo Lopez. So, Devin Haney got a fake belt. Devin Haney is the email champion. He's this, he's that. What does he bring to the table? But then you'll go fight Kambosos. Like, come on, bro. Like it don't make sense. Which now that the fight is made, y'all hear me on here saying like, no, Kambosos deserves his shot. That shit is already signed. Give him his
right,
shot. You keep him
yeah,
waiting, like give him his shot. But before the fight was signed, you can't say shit like that if you Teofimo Lopez. You can't say shit like, oh, what has Devin Haney done? He ain't done shit, or I'll never give Vasily Lomachenko a rematch. He ain't really done nothing. I already
Right.
beat him. But then you go fight Kambosos. Like, bro, it's bigger fights for you. It's the
Right.
same argument that Canelo Alvarez fans make when they talk about, well, what has Charlo done, or what has Andrade done,
Yeah.
or what has David Benavidez done, and then I gotta go watch him fight Rock Avni Yildirim or some shit. Like that
Right.
that shit don't make sense to me, man. And so
Yeah.
that's where they lose me. Like, you don't use that argument. Like, fight each other. It's a huge fight, and we want to see y'all get in there and make the best man win. I don't want to protect any fighters. I have some favorites. I have some people I root for more than others. But shit,
Right.
at the end of the day, I'm a boxing fan, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
There you
protect
go.
you. I want you to go. I want you to go prove me right. If I
Yeah.
think you beat somebody, I want you to actually fight them. I just don't want to talk hypothetical shit to nobody. I want to be able to talk that real shit. I want
There
to be
you
able to be
go.
like, my
Yeah.
guy knocked your guy out. He beat the shit
Yeah.
out of him. I can't do that
Hmm.
unless you fight each other, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Because that's what, a lot of people think I'm being hard on Bud, but I just want to fight somebody because that would be good, and that would be good for Earl. I mean, still he'd probably get 60-40, but still, at least let him fight somebody. Tune up. I don't care, tune up, whatever. Then that would be making him better when he fight Earl Spence. And I
Mhm.
know he gonna try to make it harder for him, or Bob gonna make it harder for him. Put it that way. But still, I would still like to see this fight, and I still think this fight still got a little, pickup about it. But if it goes on another year, a lot of people are gonna lose his zest for this fight. A lot of people gonna start saying, you know what, I really don't care no more.
Yep, it's a
That's
fact.
yep. Everybody says, you know what? I really don't care. Bud don't want to fight nobody, and everything gonna go on Bud. Why? Because Earl is the more active fighter, and Earl is collecting the belts and doing this and that, and so of course they're gonna jump on his, you know, his bad wagon, Earl Spence. So Bud, you gotta step up. I know that's not in your demeanor to sit there and call out people or whatever, but sometimes you have to do that. That's boxing. That's boxing. You're gonna have to say, hey, look, Now, one thing about Bernard Hopkins, old garage mouth motherfucker, he always saying, he sat there and told Demetrius Andre, you be a professional stalker. If you want to fight, you go to every press conference, this and that, and call them out. Well, first of all, I don't think that's good, or I don't think it's bad. But you can keep getting put out and not allowed any press conferences because you're disruptive, right? But he might have to do it a calculated way or something like that. But he's right. You got to make noise and call people out. You know,
Yeah, you show up. You show up to the fight. You say you want to fight them, and
right?
every
Yeah.
time they put a camera in, you ain't gotta even go. Every time they put a camera in your face, I want to fight them. You don't say shit like, "Oh, that fight's behind me.
Uh,
That fight's past me. I'm not even thinking about him." But then your whole
right.
team spend all their time hating on the man. Like, it just,
Right.
bro, just act like you want the fight, call for the fight, and tell people that you want it. And that's all we asking for as boxing fans. Like, show us that you want to fight these top dudes, man. And that's
Yeah.
for any fighter, not just Terrence Crawford, but we on him right now because he be saying shit like, bro, we don't want to hear you say that the fight is behind you or you
Right.
don't want the fight no more. Like, at the end of the day, you will make more money than you ever made fighting Earl Spence. You
Yeah.
would make more money than anybody else that you could fight realistically right now. And you get to make history, man. If he were to somehow beat Earl Spence, which is highly possible,
Right.
assuming it's for undisputed, he'd be the first ever man to be undisputed in the four belt era in two different weight classes. Clarissa
Yeah.
Shields already did it in the women's side, but he'd be the
Right.
first man to ever accomplish this. You want to talk about walking Hall of Fame and something on your resume that nobody else have? That's greatness right there.
Yeah.
So I just want, like, I don't understand how we hating if we just asking Bud Crawford to chase greatness. I thought that's what we supposed to want for our athletes, right?
Yep. That's what we want. Chase greatness, and like I say, best fight the best. There you go. So with that, that's all, man. That was a quick 2 hours, baby. Yes, sir.
Time flies when you're having fun, OG.
Yes, sir, man. Man, we got Knockout Boxing 86 TV was in the building today, and he had a great conversation of boxing for y'all asses. Yes, now, if you haven't subscribed to my man, we still got 90 some people in here. All right. If you haven't subscribed to Knockout Boxing 86 TV, go check him out. All right. Kevin Farley said great content. Yes, he has great content. And he always keep it boxing just like we do over here. And now, please check him out. Go through there, hit the like button, go over there and subscribe. And that way, hit the bell icon. Every time you come live, you'll know. And man, he knows boxing. And I always knew he knows boxing. And tonight, I think he said, tell them how they can follow you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, first of all, OG, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
You know, you keep a brother working hard and you keep a brother grinding. So, thank you for that, man. And you
Mhm.
definitely motivation. So, thanks for having me on. Everybody in the chat, if y'all want to follow me, it's right there on my name, Knockout Boxing 86 TV. YouTube right here, man. I'm working every day. I'm grinding hard and trying to build the channel and trying to give y'all great content. I do have a live show. Just so happens my live show is tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I will be going live, and it's only about an hour and a half. So y'all come hang out with me. It's gonna be a great night of boxing talk. And that's pretty much it, man. We just love to talk boxing and give y'all the content and try to keep y'all up to date on the news. And I also break down the fights every single week on my channel. I drop prediction videos, not to toot my own horn, but I do have a 70-15 prediction record on my channel.
Okay.
So please check out all the content that we got going on, and we're gonna keep grinding.
All right, all right. Now you come on tonight, 7:30. That's Central Time, right?
Yes, sir. Central Time, 5:30 on the West Coast and 8:30 on the East Coast.
Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, I dropped through there. All right, cool. All right, all right. Hey, I appreciate you, man, coming through, man. And I know you took your time out on your busy schedule to come and spend a couple hours with us. I
No, I
appreciate
appreciate you, KQKC. I'm gonna jump off right now. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all for rocking out with us. And KQKC, anytime you call me, anytime you text me, man, I'm there, bro. And
it.
even if
Okay,
you don't call me or text me, you're gonna see my ass in the chat, bro.
okay. Hey, I appreciate
All right,
that.
I'll holler at you, man.
Okay, all right. Take care, man. All right. All right, man. There you get. There it is. There it is. Good boxing talk today. Good boxing talk today for y'all asses. Yes, sir. Man. My man Jamel Allen just said, just subbed. Yes, sir. You know, I said, just sub, my homie. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. He's a good brother, and he's right out in Dallas, Texas. And he knows boxing, and, you know, and I got a good eye for people. And plus, did you go see, yeah, I did. Yeah, I went today. Yeah, I went this morning. Yeah. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. But everything's okay. All right, everything's okay so far. I took some tests, and I know tomorrow a couple of tests. I will know tomorrow. And actually, I just got back not too long ago. But so I'll let you all know exactly what happened with the test tomorrow. So, but I appreciate everybody that came in today. We had a full house today. And like I say, you know, sometimes you need that, you know, that great mind. And we're gonna try to do this. And I'm talking about y'all asses. Everybody in the damn chat that has a cell phone or a tablet or a computer. All right, y'all gonna come on with KQKC once a month. All right. Now, I don't care what order, you know, whatever. Chi-Town Underground, then you're going to arrange everything. And I don't know how they're going to put it in order, whatever. But now, you don't have to. All right. If you want to and give your predictions or, you know, talk straight boxing about anything, you're welcome to do that. All right. And you're welcome to come on. All right. We're going to try to do that once a month. And the rest of the month, you know, we still gonna have the call in show, and you still gonna have my ass here every day. Yes, sir. But I feel better today than I did yesterday and the day before. So I ain't holding on to shit and saying, y'all ain't. So I won't be foaming at the mouth right here on YouTube. Right? But hey, shout out to the almighty LDBC. Shout out to a great, great boxing conversation we had today. Man, Knockout Boxing TV was on point. He was on point today. All right. Yeah. I mean, we talked and chopped it up about a few questions I had, and he answered them straight up, just like that. Like I said, he knows boxing. So check him out tonight. I'll be over there at 7:30 Central Time. I'll be in the chat for a minute or two. And check him out. I think he's gonna have Money Brown and I forgot his name. Keon be over there. Yeah, Keon. Yes, sir. So, but if you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to let Chi-Town Finance or Underground Asylum know. All right, and that way they will fix whatever problem you have. I stopped because I saw 81.7 box there. No more Red Bulls. OG. Yeah, I know. Underground was telling me about something else. I can use. I can drink. So, but yeah, I know. I'm just finishing off the last 4-pack I had. That's all. So, but that's it. That's all. No more, no less. All right. But hey, I appreciate everybody came in today. All right. And we will be back tomorrow, the same time, same place. All right. It's Wednesday, and we'll be back. And I'm still working on something for Friday. Okay. I'm gonna try to have an interview, a fighter. Maybe once a month, maybe something like that. So with that, that's all I have. I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. And I appreciate everyone that came in the super chat, the PayPal, the Cash App, and I thank you and I appreciate you. And with that, I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Oh, Sugar Fantastic. You know what? Did I have any super chats? Yeah, I did. The Zulu line, yeah, I did. And I think Kevin Faulkner. All right. Yes, sir. Was ABN too? Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, Sugar Fantastic. And that chat. All right. All right. All right. I appreciate everybody came in. Thank you. And thank you, Sugar Fantastic. Always rocking with me, brother. Always. And with that, that's all I have. And with that, I will see you tomorrow. And please take your love over to no other than Blue Blood Sports TV. And keep in mind, that hasn't been confirmed yet. I know a lot of people said it has, but it has not been confirmed 100%. No T's have been crossed and no I's have been dotted. But they are very close. They are this close and making the biggest purse that Canelo Alvarez have ever had. That means that, hey, Floyd Mayweather, you might not be the money man. All right. So with that, that's all I have. And you all have a good evening. All right. So assalamu alaikum to you all. May you go in peace. And with that, I am definitely out of here. And I will see you tomorrow at the rightful place of OBS. I'm out of here. Peace and love. Thank you all.